One of the biggest questions I asked myself when I was starting to be a therapist was, how am I going to deal with being a therapist socially? Like I didn't have all the answers. I was fairly young in my early 30s, late 20s, and I was thinking, I don't know if I'm ready to be in community as a therapist, to put my shingle out, so to speak. And it took a lot to figure out how to carve out social boundaries around what I did as a profession, as well as allow myself to have some visibility because I wanted to network and grow in my community. But there's a lot that comes into play when you're actually very emotionally involved with people, whether it's a family or someone that you go out to dinner and then you sort of you see your client who had a really hard session with you about an hour ago in the restaurant. And you might be able to deal with that very well by setting boundaries. But what I'm talking about is the internal piece of work that you have to do to clear yourself, to take up space in your world, and also to self regulate. Sometimes that might mean making a choice like leaving the restaurant, but other times it might make a choice like staying in the restaurant and just having sort of an invisible protective wall between you and the outside world. Whatever it is, there's lots of scenarios that you'll run into that you really have to look at how you're going to manage yourself and your personal life as a therapist. So some of what we'll be talking about in the group has to do with these kinds of issues, but it's really that deeper sense of how you're going to internally manage these decisions and boundaries that you'll undoubtedly have to make.